In 2025, the world once again finds itself staring at two flags that define global power. To the east, Russia, ancient, vast, and relentless, built on endurance and national pride. To the west, the United States of America, modern, dynamic, and global, driven by technology and strategy. Two nations whose very existence shapes every alliance, every conflict, every corner of the world. One side commands oceans and skies. The other commands resilience and raw strength. For decades, they've been rivals in more than just warfare. Rivals in ideology, influence, and survival itself. And now, as the world enters 2025, both powers are once again testing the limits of might and ambition. This is not just a comparison of armies. It's a clash between two ways of thinking, between control and chaos, between reach and resolve. So let's step into this modern arena of power and find out what truly defines a superpower today. Manpower. The strength of numbers. Russia steps into 2025 with 1.15 million active duty troops and over 2 million reservists. Its military structure remains massive, built on decades of mobilization experience and the principle of national service. Every year, thousands of young men enter mandatory conscription, serving from the Arctic Circle to the Pacific frontier. For them, the military isn't just a job. It's a symbol of patriotism and pride. Across the Atlantic, the United States relies on a volunteer force of around 1.3 million active personnel, supported by 800,000 reserves. These men and women choose to serve, and they train with resources few nations can match. Advanced simulators, AI-guided exercises, and global missions that keep them battle-ready. Russia's military strength lies in its numbers and its toughness. It's designed to fight through hardship. Cold, isolation, and supply challenges are part of its DNA. The U.S. military, on the other hand, thrives on precision, integration, and coordination. Soldiers connected by satellites, sensors, and instant data. In Russia, the doctrine is endurance, survive and strike back harder. In America, it's efficiency, strike first, strike smart, and finish quickly. But beneath these differences lies a truth both nations share. Each soldier, whether Russian or American, represents a legacy of power that refuses to fade. Air power, the battle above the clouds. In modern warfare, whoever controls the sky controls the story. The U.S. Air Force is unmatched in both scale and technology. With more than 13,000 aircraft, including stealth fighters like the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II, it dominates global airspace. Each jet connects to a network of drones, satellites, and command centers, a real-time digital ecosystem where every target, every movement is tracked and calculated. Strategic bombers such as the B-2 Spirit and the upcoming B-21 Raider can strike anywhere on Earth without detection. Every mission is a demonstration of precision and power projection. Russia, on the other hand, enters 2025 with around 4,200 aircraft, including roughly 1,500 fighters. Its fleet combines legacy models like the Su-27 and MiG-29 with advanced jets like the Su-57 Felon, its first true stealth fighter. While Russia's air fleet may be smaller, it carries a different philosophy: rugged engineering and raw agility over digital sophistication. Russian pilots train for survival in contested skies, often relying on experience rather than automated systems. The U.S. pilot, however, fights within a web of information, guided by radar feeds, AI prediction systems, and satellite support. The difference? In Russia, air power is defense, protecting vast skies and borders. In America, air power is offense, reaching across oceans, projecting force wherever needed. When it comes to air supremacy, the U.S. still owns the clouds. Naval might, ruling the oceans. The oceans have always been where empires prove their reach. The United States Navy is the most powerful fleet in history. 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, each a floating fortress with over 5,000 sailors and 90 aircraft. They sail with carrier strike groups, destroyers, cruisers, submarines, and logistics ships, capable of launching full-scale operations anywhere on the planet. Supporting them are 480-plus warships and submarines, including 68 nuclear-powered subs, many armed with Trident ballistic missiles. Together, they form an ever-moving shield and sword that can respond within hours to any crisis, anywhere. Russia's Navy tells a different story. It maintains about 600 vessels, but most are smaller. Frigates, corvettes, and patrol submarines focused on regional control. However, where Russia excels is beneath the surface. Its Borei-class and Yasen-class submarines are among the quietest and most advanced in the world, capable of launching nuclear strikes from the depths of the ocean. While the U.S. dominates the world's blue waters, Russia's Navy thrives close to home, in the Arctic, the Baltic, and the Pacific. Its focus is not projection, but deterrence, guarding its coastline and maintaining second strike capability. At sea, America's power is visible. Russia's power is hidden, and sometimes the unseen is just as dangerous. Ground forces, steel, grit, and strategy. If the sea and sky belong to machines, the land still belongs to men. Russia's ground forces remain one of the largest on Earth. 12,000 tanks, 30,000 armored vehicles, and over 25,000 artillery systems. Tanks like the T-90M Proriv and T-14 Armata symbolize its modernization efforts, though production has been slowed by sanctions and cost. The Russian army continues to rely on overwhelming artillery, the god of war as they call it, to dominate the battlefield through firepower. American ground forces are smaller but vastly more integrated. With 6,000 Abrams tanks and thousands of armored vehicles, they operate with unmatched coordination. Every tank, every squad is linked to satellites, drones, and command centers through encrypted digital systems. When an American unit moves, air and ground know it instantly. A synchronized ballet of speed and precision. Russia's doctrine emphasizes shock and depth, to push fast, hard, and far. The U.S. doctrine emphasizes control and awareness, to fight smarter, not just stronger. On an open battlefield, Russia's artillery would create chaos, but America's surveillance and precision could turn that chaos into opportunity. If these two armies ever clashed directly, it would not just be a war of fire, it would be a war of information. Nuclear arsenal, the ultimate equalizer. When all else fails, power returns to its purest form. Nuclear deterrence. Russia holds the largest nuclear stockpile in the world, around 5,800 warheads, with over 1,500 actively deployed. Its intercontinental ballistic missiles, like the RS-28 Sarmat, are designed to bypass missile defense systems and deliver multiple warheads across continents. Russia's doctrine is simple: deterrence through fear. The idea that even if everything else fails, one strike can erase entire cities. The United States possesses around 5,000 warheads, slightly fewer in number but backed by superior delivery systems and safeguards. The U.S. nuclear triad, land-based Minuteman III missiles, submarine-launched Tridents, and stealth bombers, guarantees second strike capability. It's not just about retaliation, it's about precision and control. Both nations maintain launch-on-warning readiness, meaning if a missile is detected, response is instantaneous. One miscalculation could ignite a global catastrophe. In this realm, there is no winner, only survivors, cyber and space. The new frontiers. Not all wars are fought with tanks, planes, or ships. Some wars are invisible, fought in code, data, and orbit. Russia has become a major cyber power. Its hackers have breached global banks, government networks, and energy systems. Cyber warfare has become its most cost-effective weapon, a digital equalizer against wealthier enemies. When Russia can't compete in dollars, it competes in disruption. The United States responds with U.S. Cyber Command, one of the most sophisticated digital defense networks in existence. It combines artificial intelligence, surveillance satellites, and global monitoring grids. While Russia hacks to destabilize, America hacks to dominate, then there's space, the ultimate high ground. The U.S. Space Force, established in 2019, now operates over 400 military satellites, controlling communications, GPS, and missile warning systems across the globe. This gives America a near-omniscient view of Earth's battlefields. Russia continues to test anti-satellite weapons and launch its own small satellites for reconnaissance, but it's far behind in infrastructure. Yet, every test sends a message that even in space, competition never ends. The next great war might not begin on land or sea, but in cyberspace or the void above it. Economy and industry, the engine of power. Military strength doesn't exist without economic muscle. In 2025, the United States defense budget surpasses $870 billion, larger than the next 10 countries combined. This money fuels innovation, stealth aircraft, hypersonic weapons, and AI-driven drones. Every dollar turns into data, and every byte turns into battlefield advantage. Russia's estimated defense budget is around $110 billion, bolstered by wartime production and energy revenue. It's smaller, but heavily focused on missiles, artillery, and strategic deterrence. Sanctions limit imports of high-tech components, forcing Russia to innovate under pressure. And sometimes desperation creates efficiency. Russian engineers have mastered doing more with less. The American military-industrial complex thrives on abundance. The Russian complex thrives on necessity. One has endless resources, the other has endless resolve. Global reach and strategy. This may be the most important difference of all: reach. The United States operates 750-plus military bases in over 70 countries, stretching from Germany to Japan, from the Persian Gulf to the Pacific. This global presence allows instant deployment, humanitarian or hostile, anywhere on the planet. Russia's overseas presence is smaller, bases in Syria, Belarus, and parts of Africa, but strategically placed to maintain influence and deny access to adversaries. Its focus is not to police the world, but to resist it. It projects presence, not power. So while America plays the global chessboard, Russia plays the regional fortress. One seeks to maintain order, the other seeks to challenge it. The psychological battlefield. Power isn't only measured in weapons, it's also measured in perception. Russia understands the art of psychological warfare, propaganda, disinformation, and information control. It uses narrative as a weapon, crafting stories of strength, unity, and defiance. The United States fights its wars in the open, through media, democracy, and global diplomacy. Its power lies in visibility. Russia's lies in mystery. The U.S. projects influence. Russia projects intimidation. Both forms of power shape how the world moves. The final verdict: titans of a divided world. In 2025, the world is not at war, but it's not at peace either. Every exercise, every military test, every satellite launch carries meaning. The United States stands as the technological titan, unmatched in funding, alliances, and precision. The Russian Federation stands as the fortress nation, fierce, unpredictable, and impossible to break completely. One commands the skies and seas, the other commands endurance and fear. If these two ever clashed fully, the result would not be victory, it would be devastation. Because in modern warfare, survival itself is the prize. In truth, they need each other, as rivals that justify each other's existence. Each defines the other's strength, and each keeps the other in check. So who's stronger? The one who strikes first? Or the one who never falls? Maybe true power isn't about destruction at all. Maybe yes, about how long a nation can hold its ground in a world that's constantly changing. And that is why, in 2025, the face-off between Russia and the United States continues to shape our planet, from the depths of the ocean to the edge of space. Because when these two powers stare at each other, the rest of the world holds its breath. You've been watching Nation Face Off, where power meets perspective. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next global showdown.